The functions of the subcommittee, actually it is referred to as a special committee,
Okay.
cabinet committee on land and related matters. Government does not function only on one item. So we're talking of land, but land is but only one of it. So land goes together with other matters, and these are the accompanying legislations, etc. But the main function of this special committee really is to look at measures to accelerate accessibility of land to Namibians and to identify all potential legislations that might be a stumbling block to fast track or to accelerate this accessibility. But also it's not just accessible, that access to the land should be affordable. That is the function of the subcommittee on land and related matters.
Okay. 94 recommendations were presented by the Cabinet subcommittee or special committee on land to amend laws and policies regarding land, as you've mentioned also. Can you perhaps share with us some of these, a few of these policies and what they entail?
Sure. What are the stumbling block at the moment? We look at legislations because Namibia is ruled by laws. Whatever we do, it has to be in terms of our existing laws. One of them is where we have two separate legislations governing land matters in Namibia. The Land, Agricultural and Commercial Act, and then you have the communal land. Now, first, we now have got one republic. Therefore, it is only appropriate to consolidate the two pieces of legislations. That's one. Two, in terms of access to the land, these governing legislations dictate how to access those lands, but also it determines the value of those lands. We do not want to perpetuate homelands. Secondly, there are laws in terms of the procedures to be followed to own that particular land. We have others in the urban areas, that is now building of houses in towns, villages, settlements, but also in the communal land as well as farmland, and all these legislations needed to be identified and remove what I would refer to in legislative process as repeal of some laws that have outdated, and others to be amended and others to be consolidated. Let me at this point in time say that all these fortunately have made a tremendous progress. There is now at the moment already a consolidated land bill. So we will not have two pieces of land.
Okay.
So it is now already a land bill.
All right. Viewers at home might want to know what other plans has government put in motion, so to say, to fast track solving this land issue and just to solve the issue in general?
Thank you very much. Let me be very clear. The government does not work like you go into a car, you start, and there you are in town. Even in town, you will have to go through certain stops. You stop, you allow the others to move. What the government has put in place, first, this comes from the SWAPO Party Congress in 2012. Very briefly, so that we put it in context.
Yes.
How the SWAPO Party and the government moved together. 2012, SWAPO had a national conference in preparation for the 2012 elections. Now, in this conference, referred to as the Land Policy Conference, National Policy Conference, land was one of the issues resolved in that Land Policy Conference. That policy conference resolved how to deal with land as one of the policies to prepare for the manifesto. That policy conference further then recommended to the Congress, and those are the resolutions that were also adopted at the 2012 Congress, where the current president and the current legislators were elected. Now, thereafter, when SWAPO party came into power after the elections, the Politburo further took a decision by establishing a subcommittee of the Politburo to work out measures how to deal with that item among many other policies that were adopted from that policy conference. And in let me say, at that time, the Attorney General and Minister of Presidential Affairs was then elected by Politburo as the chair. Early in this year, in May, that committee was then elevated to be chaired by the Deputy Prime Minister under the administration of the current president. That is why we're referring to the Special Cabinet Committee on Land and Related Matters. This is a process. That is what happened. And ever since, all this that I'm talking about, this committee have been working. And we are now ready that as soon as Parliament resumes in September, all these approximately 20 pieces of legislations from your deeds office, registry offices, and local authority, traditional authority, regional local government legislation, all these have been identified, and we are now ready to present an amended version how to regulate land ownership, urban, commercial, and farm, as well as the ownership of land vis-a-vis foreign nationals.